All right, everyone. Thanks for coming. Um, Two games yesterday. When we signed up, we thought it was at least going to be three. The schedule change added another team after that, um, and kind of had to roll with what was going on, and ended up at the end ended up being only two guaranteed games. So that's that's what we played yesterday. And it did change a little bit of what we were trying to do in the games. But I thought we did really well. I thought the boys played really well. Didn't give up, and there were times when they could have given up. There were times when they could have felt sorry for themselves and not put forth the effort. But we ended up, that first game, we ended up scoring some runs. Ended up making the other team a little bit afraid of what we were able to do, which was really, really good. And that was a really good team. That's the team that ended up winning the tournament yesterday. And yesterday when we start that game, we started a little bit earlier than the stated time. And so, I'd asked to have a little bit more time. We weren't given that. That's fine. But, I should have, we started out the way that we did because I should have taken more time to talk with the boys about what was going on, what the expectations were, a little bit of change of what was going on, and just, tell them to go out, relax, have fun, and play. Because that first inning, we give up, I think, 10 runs in that first inning, and on four or five errors or three or four errors, we ended up throwing 57 pitches that inning. And so after that inning, I said, hey, I'm going to say this one time, and then we're going to move on. When we make that many errors, it causes us to throw more pitches than we need to. So the rest of the time, let's play clean. Let's not make the errors, and let's work together. Let's support each other. That was something we had talked about before the games. Is this weekend supporting each other, lifting each other up, and let's go get it. And I thought we really reacted well. In the bottom of that inning, we came back, we scored three runs, and we ended up, at the end of that game, we ended up, I think, both or all three of our at bats putting multiple runners on base, where if we get a hit here or there, I mean, we make more of a game of that, and I was really, really impressed with that. And the second game, we I thought played really well. I thought the other team was really worried with what we were doing. That's why they were doing some of the things they were attempting to do at the end of the game. And I think we were at the end. We had two runners on, and we get a base hit. And who knows what happens from there? Who knows where we go from there? I thought the boys did really, really well. There were some times where there's some things that we can definitely talk about and definitely work on. But I think from the beginning of the fall season, we had a tournament where I think we played really well and kind of surprised ourselves a little bit. And then a tournament where we played some really good teams. And I think we kind of probably, surprise ourselves a little bit on that, thinking, we were going to come in and do, it wasn't going to be as much work as it was. And so I think we learned from that. We really rebuilt from that, or built up some resiliency from that tournament. And I think you saw that yesterday. I think we get down big early. We try to make a game of it, and then a couple hits here and there, and we're making a game of that first game, and then the second game, like I said, we're right there, and we made a run at the end. And I think we're aside from a few things that were out of our control, and if you get a few hits here or there, we were in a different situation. And so I was really, really excited about the way that the boys played yesterday. And I did talk to them afterwards about, hey, in the off season, here's some things that we're going to do, and we're going to work on the way that we deal with our emotions, and the way that we let that affect us in game situations. And we're going to continue to work on that and continue to get better at that. So I was really excited. I thought they did a really good job. Uh, Question if anybody has one. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So the question is, how would how would I kind of rate the fall season, or what are my thoughts of the fall season? So this does wrap up the fall season. Uh, 8 tournament games. We had a scrimmage in there. We had some competitions in there. So 13 all competition games, or all competition situations, if you will. And I thought where we started to where we are, I definitely see improvement. I see improvement with the way that people are thinking about the games, the way that the boys are able to react in situations. And I also see, there's a lot we can work on, but I also see the passion there, and that's really impressive. Seeing the passion, seeing the want to win, and so now the job for us, the opportunity for us as coaches, is to let the boys know they are as good as other teams that they are playing. They are as good as every other team that's out there, and get them to believe that, and work on getting them to believe that, and helping each other. And a lot of some of that can come from us coaches. A lot of that's gonna come from the boys, and them working together, them continuing to play together, and then making those connections, and feeling good about what's going on. Baseball is a game that it can really frustrate you. You can do everything right, and it doesn't, the outcome doesn't happen your way, or doesn't happen the way you want it to all the time. But it can also be really, really fun. It can reward you, but it teaches you what you need to know about the game, about life, things like that. That's the bigger message for these boys. And so I'm excited about the what we did this fall. Looking forward to the off season. Looking forward to some of the things that we're going to work on, and then really looking forward to the spring season, and getting moving on that sooner sooner than we think. So thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great day.